Sarah, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing well.
All right. So, first and foremost, thank you for coming on the show and taking out the time. I know you're busy. We're going to try and get you in and out as quick as possible. So, obviously, I've
Great.
already informed my live audience, of what you do and how we met. But I wanted you to take us back to the beginning. What got you into macronutrition?
So I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for over 21 years. My background specialty is critical care, orthopedics, neurosurgery, and trauma in recovery rooms as well. And I started boxing when I was probably around like 34. I'm trying to get my camera right. Sorry. So I'm older, and I started boxing for cardio and just for health and fitness. And my love for the sport took off. And at that time, I also focused on nutrition for myself. Where am I? There we go. And that turned into more of getting certified and coaching others as well. When I entered the competition area for boxing, that's when I realized how much education we needed and what we were doing for boxing in terms of nutrition and weight cuts. It was really not only impeding our performance, but hurting us in terms of health and longevity as well. So that's where my love for the sport and nutrition came together.
So when you say compete, you have a USA boxing book and you're an amateur competing, or you just saying compete when
I
you spar in the gym?
No, I started boxing masters amateur, so I was 3-0 masters, and then I turned professional at the end of last year in order to get more fights and broaden it up. So
Nice. I told them you were an amateur. I had no clue you had professional fights. So how many pro
yeah,
fights were you able to get? Let me check your box rec. Wow,
I've
congratulations.
oh yeah, I've only had one so far, but then hopefully as the year goes on, we will get more fights. As there's not a lot of us females out there, so um, the pool of contenders is pretty small.
Now, how serious are you? Are you going to campaign for a world title, or did you just say, you
Right?
know what, let me just get a professional fight? Like, what's your mindset with this?
Well, I'm not like a one and done. I'm not just like check the box. No.
Okay, okay.
But I have to be realistic. I am 43, but I do want to fight. And so that's the reason to go pro, is to get more fights and be able to continue on as long as I can.
Shout out to you. So, okay, 43. What weight class?
I'm welterweight, 147.
Oh, wow.
And I walk around my fight weight, so that is what I preach, and that is what I do, and that is what I practice. So I'm not just saying it to tell people to do it. I do it as well.
Now, walking around at your fight weight, is that not a disadvantage to you? Now, I get it. You're a macronutritionist, you're a nurse, you know how to lose weight properly. But these other girls, they're doing it as an advantage. So, a female might be 160 fighting someone at 47, cutting down what you may call, not a proper weight cut, but she's doing it to get that advantage on
Right.
you on fight night.
Well, is it really an advantage though? Because you're not gaining muscle, you're gaining water weight. So it's not like it's MMA where you're actually like pushing your body weight on somebody unless you're clinching, but at the same time is you're not doing that the whole fight either. So are you really at an advantage? That's my question. And if you're not rehydrating appropriately and you're not getting in your carbohydrates to get that weight back, you're just getting extra fluff in anyway. So I don't see it as quite an advantage.
Have you helped any professional fighters put together a nutrition plan or help them cut weight, or amateur fighters from your gym?
Yeah, I work with pro and amateurs currently, so I do have coach or clients that I work with, not in my gym, but in other gyms around the area as well.
So obviously, with your connection to the WBC and campaigning at 147, any way you got some rounds with Michaela Mayer?
That would be fantastic to get in some work with her. We've actually reached out to her coach and put in some word of opportunity. So that would always be, getting in good work is great at any level. So I would be appreciative of anything.
And where are you originally from?
I'm from Michigan.
Okay, Michigan. So
So,
we got a couple of questions from the people. I've been trying to tell them, you were gonna come on to see if they had any, I guess, weight cutting questions or whatever the case may be. So
yeah.
anything you feel you've answered already, we're just gonna read it so that they know you know, that we acknowledge them. I got major media that says, what do you think about rehydration clauses? Are they necessary for a fair fight or too cruel on a fighter's body?
I mean, so a rehydration clause, I think that kind of goes along with walking around your fight weight, right? Because if you're overhydrating, it's just going to get you water and it's going to get you fluff. You're not gaining muscle in that little amount of time. And when you cut that water weight, you're actually losing muscle. So I think it's a great thing because it's not going to benefit anybody.
All right. And next one is from Matt from Phoenix. Thank you for your time, Sarah. For someone who has a fast metabolism and works on a regular basis, what tips do you have to help them gain weight?
Gaining weight. Oh, I just helped somebody gain weight. It was fantastic. It was fun. It's going to be eating a lot of food, but you have to realize that where your calories come from count, right? So you don't want to just eat everything in sight and go out to fast food to gain fat. You want to gain muscle the appropriate way. So you're going to want to probably do like 1.2 grams per pound of protein. And then you're going to want to make sure that you're lifting in a progressive overload too to gain muscle because you want to gain muscle. You don't want to gain water and fat.
All right. I got, hey, Sarah, Vidal Price from Atlanta. I feel stronger when my diet consists of meat like elk rather than vegan diet. In your opinion, is this accurate where a more meat focused diet is a better for the weight cutting process and strength workouts for fighters?
Yes. You can gain muscle mass being a vegan, and that can work for you. But remember that vegan sources of protein are going to be higher in carbohydrates. Not only that, if you're having muscle or muscle meat and you're doing red meats, you're also going to increase your hemoglobin and your oxygen carrying capacity. So it's a double edge to that, that you're going to also improve like your composition at that cellular level as well as get more protein.
All right. Um, I got a 702 boxing that wants to know, are there two types of magnesium? Which ones are the ones we're supposed to take, please?
Yeah. Well, there's like 7 types of magnesium. You want to have magnesium glycinate, and that is the one that's going to help more towards muscle recovery and sleep. So take it before you go to bed. And like I said, that's going to help repair your muscles, relax your muscles, and get you better sleep. Magnesium citrate, that's going to be more for your, I hear a lot of people that take that one instead, and that is the same thing we use to clean you out for a colonoscopy. So it's more for your gut. So don't go for that one. But yeah, magnesium glycinate is what you're going to want.
All right, all right. Next one is from Manuel. He says, Manny from San Jose, California. What is the quickest way to burn belly fat? That's no such thing, right? You can't just target fat,
You
right?
can't, no, you can't pinpoint. I get pinpoint and say, hey, fat, I want you to lose from this area. That is going to be maintaining your diet, and wherever fat comes from. But the more that you are consistent with your diet and your eating, then you will lose that fat. Now, if you are drinking alcohol, that's also going to hold on to that visceral fat in your abdomen. So alcohol is definitely a no-go.
Does chocolate like do the same thing? Does it hang out the same place the alcohol does or something?
No, and chocolate is fantastic for you. Actually, basically dark chocolate's an
Yeah,
antioxidant.
yeah, but you're
Um,
talking dark chocolate. We're
yeah,
talking we're
yeah.
talking M&Ms and Snickers and we're talking the real
I have a
chocolate.
fighter. Hey, I have a fighter who does a Snickers bar 30 minutes right before they get in the ring. So
Oh
I'm
wow.
not against chocolate.
Okay. Well, no, I mean I'm just asking because I definitely eat chocolate. I don't. That's not one. Those are
Right,
one
and
things
you know
I'm
what?
not gonna stop.
No, and you can fit those things in. And the whole point of learning how to eat is to not restrict yourself. So if you're going to have like a piece of chocolate a day, you just need to learn how to figure that out into your daily allotment of calories and where your calories are coming from. You can do it. There's times when like my kids have soccer practices, and after like once a week we go get Cold Stone ice cream, and I just fit it into my day that day. I plan out my day and I make sure I have that in there. So it's not that it's not doable and you have to restrict and get rid of everything. You need to have those pieces in your life that are going to be enjoyable as well.
I have Ali and Dago. Hi, Sarah. How far up in weight do you see yourself going?
How far up and I'm comfortable here. I actually went up from 143 a couple years ago and build more muscle. But right now I walk around here and I'm pretty comfortable with it. So I don't see myself going anywhere at the moment.
But you could if you wanted to, right? Like meaning
Oh
if a fight was offered to you at 54, title shot or a name fighter, you could move up for like a Jessica McCaskill at 54.
yeah. Well, it depends on how comfortable I felt fighting at that weight, and going up there.
All right.
So I don't know about that one.
Okay. I got Malcolm in New York. For starters, I like to ask unique questions that you won't get from other members. Recently in the community, there's been a topic on accurately judging a woman based, oh Lord Jesus, based on the car she drives. What's your thought on this? And do you feel stereotypes like this also apply to men? Shout out to you. So no
Based
nutritional
on the car
question.
I drive, the
Exactly.
car I drive. I drive a truck. I drive a
That
Jeep
looks
truck.
like a
So I
that
don't
looks
know.
like a
What does that say about me?
that looks like a Jeep Wrangler, right?
It's like a Gladiator.
Okay, okay.
So
Big
yeah,
truck.
I don't know. That was not one I've actually ever heard of.
Me neither. When they said that, I because someone called in and said you got to stay away from women who drive Altimas, and I'm like, what? What does that even
Right?
mean? But yeah, funny
No,
Malcolm
you guys need something better else to focus on in your life.
for real. I got Donald from Baton Rouge. Would you fight Tierra Brown if you got the call? Wow, and you just met her, I'm sure.
I did meet her, and she was so fantastic and so sweet. She's a lot lighter weight though, so either one of us I would have to go way down, or she'd have to come way up. So I don't know about that, but I'm always into getting some work with everybody, like I said. So
All right. I got Andres from New York. As a spouse and father of two young kids, we're always on the go. It's hard to eat healthy as a
yeah,
family. Any suggestions on how to sustain a tasty but healthy nutritionist eating regimen?
yeah. I am a single mom with two kids, and my kids, like my son, is in three sports right now. I'm training. My daughter's in two sports, so I feel ya. And I'm going to tell you that it's not crazy and it is doable. And getting yourself set up and meal planning and prepping and having that set and ready to go makes it a heck of a lot easier on you. So the more that you can do that, and get that routine and be consistent, then it's not out of the question.
So, one of my selfish reasons for getting you on was during your seminar, you were discussing fasting and intermittent fasting. And in this community,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's because obviously, long form content podcasting is good for people on the road, mailmen, truck drivers. So, a lot of my listeners are people that can have earphones. But this is a call-in show. Like once you're done, I'll take phone calls. So, most of them say that they fast. Myself, I wake up 4:30 a.m. West Coast. I'm not gonna eat till 12, maybe even 2. All I'm doing is drinking black coffee and water all day, all day
You're
until I
right.
finally eat. But then I heard you say that was no good, and I'm like, wait, what?
No, it's not good. You need those calories, right? Your body needs energy, and that's where it's going to get its source from is from food. You do have those glycogen stores in your skeletal muscle and your liver, like I talked about, but it's not going to sustain you through the whole day. It's better off to, in order, especially for you to keep your metabolism running and up. I eat like every 2 to 4 hours is what I usually recommend. Now you're going to
But don't
lose
you
weight
think
if you're
that's
doing
what
intermittent fasting
don't
because you're just not going to have enough calories to eat during that time.
but don't you think that's what like scares people away? Like who has the time or the extra
You know,
luggage to carry around food to eat every 2 hours?
hey, I have worked in the ICU. I've worked nights, I've worked weekends, I've worked holidays, I've, with kids and being a single parent and training. So I tell you, it is like something that you have to set your alarm to like eat sometimes. But if I can do it during all those times, I'm not saying that it's not impossible. Yeah, like if you said, like if you're, out in your truck all day, get a backpack. I have a backpack that's a cooler, and I fill that up and I take it with me. Everybody's like, "What you got in there?" I'm like, "It's just my food," but it's doable.
So no form of fasting is good.
There are certain particular groups that it might be beneficial for, but in athletes, absolutely not.
Mm.
Nope.
So let me show you this. Give me 1 second to send it to myself. Because this is a very popular fighter, 2 division champion, and this is as early as maybe 3 days ago, 2 days ago, excuse me. And I will be sharing it to you now. So this is Regis Prograis. Where's the audio? How do I? Oops. How do we turn? Okay.
Today's Sunday. I haven't eaten since Friday. I did a dry fast.
Sarah hasn't eaten
Yeah.
since Friday. He's saying he's done a dry fast. So let me play it.
Yep.
Just liquid right now, just water. I was initially gonna do it till Monday, but I got something to do. I got a family function to go to today, so I gotta do some eating today. So let me see what I am. All right. Look, come get that. And back up. So you see what the fast do? I think I started at Friday. I think I was 163 or 64. I'm 153 in 2 days. All right.
So he's proud of the 10 pounds that he lost.
Yeah.
What is the science behind the weight that he lost? Because to him,
Well,
he thinks he's doing
right.
it right.
So, right. And then, like I said before, 1 gram of carbohydrates is 3 grams of water. So ultimately, you're losing carbohydrates, you're losing water, right? So you're still dehydrating yourself. And not only that, you're losing energy because you're depleting your stores. So not only that, it's not fat loss because fat loss takes about an average of 1.5 to 2 pounds per week. So he's not losing fat, and it's just going to all come right back on. So it's not, what he's doing is not going to be long term and sustainable, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't, like, for what? Like, what's the point to say he can do it? It's not just going to come right back on.
Well, I mean, so do you not even recommend that for the fighter who's cutting? I mean, that needs to make weight because that's
Well,
10 pounds, and all he had to do was allegedly fast for 3
so
days. So
here's the
that means on
other.
Friday he can make his weight, and then Saturday he's back to 160.
So here's the other part to that. Do you know how to appropriately reload your carbohydrates
Uh,
to
I,
make sure that you have enough energy? That's where a nutritionist is going to come into play, because not only are we going to be able to tell you exactly where your water and electrolytes need to be, but we're going to be able to get you to your carbohydrates to reload. So yes, you can cut carbs and food and fiber the week prior to lose that last, how many pounds you need, but you have to know how to adequately reload that so you have your proper performance in the ring too. So it's not just about the weight cut, it's about making sure that you can reload appropriately.
Greetings, Sarah. I'm a pretty green coach and always struggle with the weight cut for my adolescent female. What are some things to avoid or include for females cutting weight during menstrual cycle? How about for females that are pre-pubescent? Thanks you for your
Yeah.
time. Thank you for your time. And this is from
Yeah.
Boxing Wellness. So
All
I never
right.
heard of
So
her.
yes, you can, sometimes there can be weight fluctuations with hormonal changes in females, especially. Normally it should be about the same, but there are some times when some people do gain a little bit more water weight as well. Making sure cutting your fiber that week before might be something beneficial. Normally, typically females average, we should have about 25 grams per fiber per day, and fiber is going to also hold on to a little bit of water as well. But cutting that down a little bit that week before should help also cut down a little bit of that water weight. What else? And so that's going to be like switching your sweet potatoes for white potatoes, switching brown rice for white rice, and things like that.
So
But that's also making sure that you get a higher fiber on the opposite days too.
I'm asking my producers to help me because I don't remember the name of the fighter, but allegedly there was a fighter maybe a few months ago had a fight and didn't know she was pregnant. So as a professional fighter, when you take your physical fight week, like they're not checking that, and shouldn't a
They should
woman
be.
know that?
They should be. They should. During our weigh-ins, like usually we have to take pregnancy tests. So,
Okay,
um,
okay, so that's
I
odd then. All right,
yeah, yeah. I don't know if that's amateur or pro.
I'm pretty sure pro.
Okay, yeah,
We
pros.
mainly focus on pros here, so I'm pretty sure it was. I'm
Yeah,
waiting
I
to
was
see if
gonna
you can
say
give me the
pros
name.
should. Right, amateurs we never did, but pros they just did it based off your good, honest opinion.
Wait, you said amateurs they never did, but pros they go off your opinion?
Mhm. No, no, no. Pros they do a test.
Okay.
Amateurs they were just asked you. Right.
All right. I have AB 2 times from Colorado. I'm 5'8", 185 pounds, 25 years old. I'm trying to cut to 140. Just wondering, what diet would you recommend? I think it's a lot more difficult than that, right? You need to like know more about the person other than the numbers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. I get people who ask me all the time, "Hey, I'm this much weight. What do I need to eat?" That is very specific, and that's where partially my nursing background also comes into play because it takes along your health history, any medications you're on, and it's more complex than just shooting out a number. You can't just say like you should eat this much percent of protein and this how many percent of carbs and healthy fats. So yeah, it's very individualized.
So I'm being told it was Ramala Ali that didn't know she was pregnant during the fight. So I don't know. They messed up in the UK. We got Polo Buck next. Polo Buck. Ness asks her if she's seen Boots' photo and what she thinks about Boots' weight cut. Does he look drained to her? Let me show you this. I don't know if you've noticed it, but this is a picture taken of Jerron Boots Ennis on Tuesday, and on Tuesday it alarmed most boxing fans. And then I'll show you one from Wednesday. But this is Tuesday's picture. What's your thoughts? Does
I
he
can like
look?
it looks like he's got really sunken eyes. That's one of the first things you can see. And then like you should notice this like when your kids and your toddlers are sick, when they get dehydrated, you'll notice their eyes are really dark and sunken.
All right, and
So, I
then
mean, you can't really see much else from that because he's got, clothes on, but
exactly. So this is the next one, and this was yesterday. Oh no, that's not a still shot. Where is it? We need that. Oh, yes, yes, yes. He put it on his story. Give me 1 second. This one.
I did see that one.
Does this alarm you?
You know,
Or do you have to know a
it
person to
depends
know that
on,
they're truly drained?
yeah, right. And it depends on what they look like walking around. Does he look like that normal on an everyday basis when he is
Oh,
fully
no.
hydrated?
No.
That is, right. And so that is something to look at too. And like I said, you have, if in order to be in your weight class, like if you want to drop weight, you have to have fat to lose. And if not, then you're going to lose water weight. And it's all dependent on how you can adequately know how to rehydrate and recarb load.
So it can be done. If a person hired
It can't,
you, they can cut all the water weight they want because you're gonna replenish them.
No.
Oh, I thought you would. I
I
thought
mean, yeah,
having someone like you
I
would
am
be able to
not.
replenish.
Well, yes, you do, but that is not like my main goal. My main goal is to make sure that you are safe going in there and you are hydrated to protect yourself and that your performance is going to be at peak, right? Now, the more you cut and the more you dehydrate that week, the trickier it can be. Is it possible? Yes. Is it doable? Yes. But is it more beneficial for you? I don't really think so. Right?
All right.
So
I have
I don't think in it, you have to be like that. You can't lose more than what, like 3% the last like week in order to be pretty much safe.
next one is from Dom in OKC. If you can make 3 big fantasy fights for yourself with any
For
current boxers
myself.
today, what matchups would they be?
Oh, that's interesting because it depends on weight class, right? I don't really have like a list like where I'm like, hey, I want to fight this person. I just kind of go with the flow. And I want like an even fair match. I don't want to like pick the bottom of the barrel and I don't want to go way up top to it's, unobtainable. I just want to have good fights.
So in this community, we began a debate about 3 weeks ago. There was a fighter by the name of, oh Lord, he's from Maryland. They'll tell me his name in a minute because this is live. He fell in the sauna on Thursday, had to pull out the fight. His weigh-in is Friday. She got a call.
Okay. Sorry.
No, no worries. Take your time.
Go ahead.
Oh, we can't
Trying to
see
give it.
you.
Hold on. All right. There we go. We're back.
Okay. So, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I don't believe anybody. I'm a Gemini. It's hard to trust, right? So when I heard he fell in the sauna on Thursday, but I know your weigh-in is Friday, I'm saying, well, you're struggling to make weight. Maybe you didn't fall.
Yep.
Maybe you did fall. But the end all be all is you're struggling to make weight. So my question to you and every fighter that I've been interviewing since that incident is, do you recommend a sauna on a Thursday for a weigh-in on Friday?
I really don't recommend the sauna at all.
Ever? Ever?
um, I mean, there are extreme cases, but I don't, it's not, it's going to, most of those people, especially if you're wearing a sauna suit in there, is actually causing you to overheat. And it's going to cause your electrolyte balances to be off, and you're going to end up in severe dehydration, which is what I'm trying to negate as well. So there are a lot of other ways that you can lose weight if you do it the right way and use your body to work with you instead of just dropping it in sweat. And most of that is also going to cause like more inflammation in your body, which we're also trying to decrease so you can perform better.
Why do you think it's been so many years of misinformation? I mean, I literally have video, like not my personal, but HBO Sports has video of Terrence Bud Crawford, the
Right.
#1 pound for pound fighter, in a sauna suit, wrapped in a blanket, towels on top of him, just trying to sweat it out. If these things are bad,
Yeah.
how is he still pound for pound? How does a man put his body through something that you're saying is destroying, but then he comes back and he's
Right.
so great at what he does?
Because we have a lot of trainers and a lot of people who are not educated in nutrition that are giving advice, and because this is how we've always done it, right? And this is how everybody has always viewed boxing. But we have a lot more science behind us now, and we need to be like educated, and we need to learn from that, right? And we need to know that we are going to protect ourselves like at all times, not in just in the ring, but in order to help like our health and longevity as well. I work also with like the Ring of Brotherhood Foundation. Did you hear me talk about that at the summit as well?
I didn't. I didn't.
Yeah, so the Ring of Brotherhood Foundation is Lisa McClellan and Gerald McClellan, and we are working towards what we can do in terms of protocols and getting out education in order to protect all the fighters, not only in the ring and afterward in case we do have injuries, but what we can do to prevent them as well. So this is some big education that's going to be rolling out, and there's going to be more protocols as well. So hopefully we can get more information out, because that's what I said. It is a big lack of knowledge, and lack, more of like what we have always done, but it's not current. There's more science and evidence out there that we can do things better. So if you could do things better and you could have a higher potential and more, better performance in the ring, just because you set the bar high doesn't mean you can't go higher.
All right. We still got a few more. You have time? Don't want to keep you if you're busy.
I got like 5 minutes, because I thought we were at like 2.
No worries.
That's why I was like,
Wait, you said you thought we were going live at 2?
yeah, I did. So
wait, because I
right.
definitely checked our messages. The message says 10 a.m. Eastern.
Right. I don't know. It's probably me. Don't worry about it.
Nah, I'm the same way. Let me tell you. Before you jumped on, Christy Martin jumped on, and I'm like, wait, I have Sarah scheduled today, and the thing is just she's on.
So maybe it isn't me.
No, it was her, because she's Central, but has a West Coast Vegas number, but was born in the East Coast. She's just confusing us. It's okay though.
Right.
I got a few more.
That's so we'll make it work.
I got Lord Mac and Cheese. He says, "What's that sweater you're wearing all about?" And good luck with your career.
Sweater. This is my old school. Like I said, I was not prepared to be on here now. I'm actually going to the train somebody. But I went to Purdue University, so this is just my like old vintage hoodie.
I have no name. I think it's The Guardian, possibly is his username. He says, can you please explain to these guys the misconception of creatine and how great it is for your brain and health?
Thank you for bringing up that it is fantastic. So creatine is, they actually proved there was a study in Australia a couple weeks ago that proved that it wasn't beneficial for building muscle in bodybuilders. They did like a whole study, but creatine takes ADP and converts it to ATP, which is the simplest form of energy that our body can use. And our body uses that for explosive power. So you can't tell me as a boxer that you don't want explosive power, right? And not only that, it has a lot of neuroprotective properties. So it is going to be beneficial for our brain and for our mental strength, and helping our cognition as we age as well. So yes, it is fantastic for you. And you can get creatine in natural sources. It's not just like some man-made substance, but you have to eat like 2.5 pounds of raw red meat a day in order to get the amount of creatine that you need. So one little 5-gram scoop a day, and you're all set. But make sure your products are third-party tested.
I mean, which one do you recommend? What do you use?
Right? What do I use? I recommend anything that is third-party tested. I use the micronized creatine monohydrate. So monohydrate, and that's also another fear, is that it's going to hold like water. So monohydrate is 1 molecule of water, and yes, it is going to hydrate your muscles, but it's not going to make you big and bloated, like people think that it is. But I use.
But it does make your muscles look fuller, though, right?
Right, because it pulls water into them a little bit, but not like a crazy amount that it's going to like gain you 10 pounds on the scale. So it shouldn't be that much that it's going to be a concern as well. So I use Clean Athlete. That's the brand that I go with, and all their products are third-party tested.
I got One Way Renzo from Roseville, Georgia. Would you recommend the snack product line for someone who wants to train like a boxer without boxing?
I have a lot of thoughts on that.
Whoa!
And I know, right? So
I want to know everything now.
I don't use it. I'll tell you that for one.
Why?
They're not third-party tested.
Oh.
That's one.
Okay.
Right there, off the bat. And there's a couple other ingredients that I have looked up on like medical publications to try and figure out like why exactly they're using them, and I can't find any evidence-based science behind it.
What is the ingredients that you looked up that you feel shouldn't be in
Right,
there?
like right now in the car, I don't have it on me, but yeah, there are a couple that I was like, why are they taking this? So there's a lot of things too, and there's a couple other ones that I noted on there that weren't enough. So I, that's, it works for some people, and I know a lot of people use it, but
A
my
lot of
athletes, I do not
boxers.
recommend it. Yep, a lot of boxers, but it's like I said, it is. They all claim that it's FDA approved, but the FDA looks at the GMP, or the good manufacturing process. So it goes into the kitchen of the place and says the kitchen is clean, but it does not test the supplement, and it does not note that if there's any contamination, or what you are getting is what is on the label.
Mm.
That's my thought.
All right, all right. We got you still have time?
I got about like a couple minutes.
Salute, Sarah. Since you started boxing late, what is a skill you want to get better at, and what is a skill that came naturally for you? For example, working on better footwork and jab coming naturally.
Right. So yeah, I definitely started later later on in the game, and I was not somebody who grew up in the sport as well. So it was all just took a lot of repetition and hard work. What I'm always up for learning, and I'm always up for growing. I don't think you ever hit a ceiling. I don't think there's ever anything that you are like, oh my gosh, that is my thing. I do think I have pretty good footwork in the ring, and I'm aggressive. So
All right. Last one. I won't refresh in case some snuck in late. We got Dre Day. Salute. Champ, by any chance, did you happen to see? Oh, we already did that one. The boots picture. So
oh
Sarah,
yeah.
actually, we have one last one. Ruin the 504 says, how does the BSN degree help someone in boxing industry? In the
Yeah.
boxing
So
industry.
I have my bachelor's of science in nursing. So I actually started out in medical technology. So I have extra biochemistry and mathematics, and along with my nursing degree. So nursing is a lot of chemistry and biochemistry, anatomy, physiology. So, and I do a lot with like electrolytes on a daily basis, getting into, all that chemistry in your lab work as well. So not only do I can also, read my athletes' labs, and I can also incorporate that into how we can pinpoint things more specifically to them as well.
If someone wanted to get a hold of you, because obviously I already got hit up saying, how can I get her number? Obviously, people want to contact you for probably, nutrition help or weight cutting
Yeah.
help. I don't know. But Instagram, right? What's your Instagram?
Instagram, mf.nuts. A little play on words there, but macros fighting nutrition, macros fitness nutrition, either one.
And yes, thank you
Yep.
for coming on. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to getting you back on.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, hit me up if any questions. I'm always here to help, guys.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Sarah Cunningham, macronutritionist, helping us out with weight cutting, and obviously saying that intermittent fasting, no bueno, man. No bueno. That's crazy.